Do it.
Boom, there you go, there you go. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bruno Coelho, but listen, you don't need to know who I am. You need to meet this gentleman right here. All right, this gentleman right here is called Kerry Sullivan. He is the master, I'm telling you, of the how to kick ass in sales. So what is this? So Kerry teaches awesome people and organizations to break sales records, right? So he's a sales entrepreneur. He's also a triathlete, and his Twitter bio says that he likes Dobermans as well. So how awesome is this? Welcome, Kerry.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks, Bruno, for having me on. Pleased to be on here talking about millennials because, one of the things is, I'm technically a millennial. I don't really put myself in any group or anything like that, but people have been ripping on us a lot lately. And in fact, over here in the U.S., the owner of the Phoenix Suns, who's a basketball team today, was out saying that, oh, it's a millennial thing. They're just like not tough. They're lazy and all this stuff.
Entitled.
Oh, entitled. You hear it all.
Yeah.
And it's funny because if you actually go and do a Google search, go do a Google search on like Socrates and Plato or just people from back in just do like ancient philosophers and their views on the youth. They say all the same things. They say all the same things. They're like, they're entitled. They don't know how to speak the language properly. Like they're lazy. They have no respect for people.
Labels. It's
the same thing. Every older generation does it. So to me, when people do that, they're just old and outdated, and they don't really understand the bigger concept and picture of what's going on. And that within, and I'm sure you've worked with people in all different generations, and there's ass kickers in every generation.
Yeah, and I do. Good point. And the reason why this subject right here is so dear to me is because I work and I lead teams in the IT industry. And of course, that there's many millennials attracted to the technology space and to the informational technology space. And what I've noticed is that, of course, that all the labels that they have. The reason I believe that one of the reasons why they have all those labels. And the reason why some of them are struggling with finding a job and struggling to get access to the opportunities that they deserve is because they don't know how to sell themselves in the marketplace. They somehow believe that because they have this degree, and I have two, by the way, I have 2 degrees, because they have this degree, that magic will happen, and suddenly, rain will start to drop from the sky, and and it's just not. That's not. That's just impossible. So the reason why I was so attracted to you was because of your approach to sales and how committed you are to, share information on how we, as salespeople, as people who want to, sell better, know this thing about sales. I was attracted to your content on YouTube, so I figured, hey, this is the content that my audience, these millennials, need to read about and to have access to.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, definitely. So, so do you want to talk about what specifically you want to talk about?
I would start with, what is the one thing that millennials should understand about sales that right now they don't think that it's even a thing? I'm not a salesperson, so why do you believe that they should learn about this skill called sales?
Well, bottom line, everything is selling, right? Like, I don't know if you want a girlfriend or you want to get married, you got to sell them, right? If you want to go have your friends come to your party, you got to sell them. So everything is selling, right? It's just that the matter of doing that. So you really have to stick out and be different. And I think so often people, go out and they think that selling is like, okay, you need to give me money. It's all about like, all right, what are you going to do for me? It's very much a what are you going to do for me type deal. And like, I'm so wonderful and so great. And really for you to stick out, especially when you're going to try and get a job in the IT space or wherever it may be, you gotta make yourself stick out. You gotta have a pattern interrupt, because most people are gonna go in there and they're gonna do the same thing. They're gonna be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and whatever, and like, you need to hire me. And instead, they're not coming at it from, if you came at it from the point of, this is how I'm going to help you, this is what I can do for you, it's going to be a lot different. How you can solve these people's problems and do things and really sticking out. And there's a number of ways that you can do that today with technology and everything else, right? So, I'll give you an example.
Please.
I've seen guys where they'll actually make a movie. Like they'll edit a movie and just be like, look, this is what I can do for you guys. And they send it home and they're like, this is how I can help you out. And so when you go into this, to get this job too, you got to go in there fully armed. You got to know exactly what problems this company's having, why they want to hire someone in that position, the things that are coming at them, and really and then come in there and start asking them questions too about, like, specifically, the things that they're looking for, like to get help with. And then you got to, and then spin it back to them about how you can help them do that.
Awesome. What would be a way that you would advise millennials or young professionals, or even anyone really, to get to know as much as they can about these people that they know that they can help? What would be a strategy or a tip that you would use, or a tactic, or a hack?
Yeah. So first off, go on Google, see what you can find about the company or what's going on with them. The other thing is, if you could talk to other people at the company, that would be good, but also talk to their competitors, right? Go in there and ask their competitors questions like, look, if you could work at any other company, what company would you work for? And then ask them why, and just really find things out about what's going on in that market space. Find out what their competitors are doing and how maybe their competitors are kicking their butt, and maybe how you can help them with that, and just alert them to those things. If you can figure out what their mission statement is, and then depending on what kind of company and how much information is out there, they'll be very clear about what their objectives are for like the next few years or whatever.
Yeah. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with mission statements, at least in the IT industry. Every company seems that they get the same mission statements from the same person or the same generator. They all want to be the leaders in the technology space, and they want to innovate, and they are totally committed to their clients and stuff. But I appreciate your strategy. I loved it. But here's something that young graduates are struggling. I feel from the conversations that I have. They somehow, even if they know, okay, this person has this problem, or these guys have this challenge that they have, or this goal that they want to achieve, but they struggle with understanding what really is their superpowers, or what is so remarkable about me that I can actually use to help these people. So my question would be, what would you suggest to someone if they are wondering what are their skills, or the skills or the talents that they could use to help people? How would you approach that?
Yeah. So that's a good question. So there's numerous things. So number one is, in the IT world, you're going to have certain skill sets that you have. Maybe you have a certain certification in something and you're really good at that and you can accelerate it. That's great. If you have a portfolio of your work that you can show these people as well, that's another way that you can show your superpowers. The other thing is you can get into personality tests too, which I think are great, because everyone is developed around certain strengths, has certain individual strengths. So you can do the Myers-Briggs. There's also the Gallup test. You can go take those, and they'll tell you what your specific personality and your inner born gifts are. And you can really talk about that. You can show that and be like, look, these are my talents and my gifts, or whatever. The other thing I'd say to the people out there too is you got to constantly be working on giving yourself the best competitive advantage too. You want to have skills that are highly in demand too, for instance. So like you got to know how to sell yourself, but you got to be able to back it up too. You got to have the goods to get the job done. So if you're going out there and you're just, arming yourself with the arsenal of really high in demand skills, that's going to go a long way too, and really help you to take it to the next level as well. So you should always be learning and trying to take that thing to the next level. And I would specifically do it around your strengths. Right? Specifically do it around your strengths, because, I'm not good with like accounting type stuff and IT type stuff. I'm not great with that stuff, and I know that's not a natural strength of mine. So could I be good at it? Yeah, I could be good at it. It'd be a struggle. I'd be okay at it. I probably wouldn't excel at it. Yeah. But if you build around your strengths And this is the other thing that happens with millennials too, I think, is like, oh, I want to do what I'm passionate about, but I don't know what I'm passionate about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is passions a lot of time can be really flaky, right? Like, they can be fading or whatever. But here's the thing. If you do something around your strengths, and they've actually done studies around this, if you do something around your actual individual strengths, the passion will come, right? So if you're actually strong in that, because if something is really, really hard for you to do, and it's just like you're banging your head against the wall nonstop. Like for me, like, the accounting, that type of like really high detailed like number work, I'm not very strong at that. I'm not good at it at all. I'm actually dyslexic, right? So a lot of that stuff drives me insane. It's just, I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to excel at it, and I'm not going to be super good at it. But if I go around my strengths, it's easier because it just comes a little bit easier, and you pick it up faster and everything else. So that's the other thing I would say.
Loved it. And one thing that I would highlight from what you just said was, okay, not only we should focus on our passion, but we should understand what the market is in demand for. So what is the market, needs? Because I can be so passionate about, I don't know, some boring thing that nobody else cares about, and then I try to sell that boring thing into the world, and nobody cares, man. So we need to mix it up. Okay, so another thing, Kerry, that is a challenge for the people that I've been talking with, these young graduates, these young professionals, is they are not so good, or they're struggling with getting people's attention, which is, I think, the number one challenge in today's society, right? More than even our competition, people are competing with this stuff. This thing is ringing. Then there's the kids, there's television, there's a tweet, there's a Facebook, there's Instagram. There's all kinds of distractions. So what would be, your strategy or a tactic that you would use to get people's attention? So how can you get the decision makers' attention and say, hey, listen to me, I can help you?
Yeah. So that's a great question. So yeah, this is a distraction, but you can also distract them with it, right? Oh. So the way Bruno, for instance, got my attention is a great way to do it, right? So he shot me to get me on here. He shot me a tweet, and it was a video tweet. He's like, hey, what's going on? Come on, come and talk with me and all this stuff. I was like, yeah, let's do it, right? So you did that to someone else. And you got to make it quick. It's got to be an elevator pitch. And an elevator pitch is something that's going to grab their attention in like 10 seconds or less. So if you have an IT skill that you could help a company out with, if you could shoot that CEO a tweet, right, with a video message in it being like, hey, I've got a way that I can help you solve, boom. If you're interested, shoot me a tweet back. I'll show you how I can do that.
And the amazing thing is the CEO is on Twitter.
So CEO is the decision maker. You can go straight to them. The other thing is, like, if you can get their cell phone, texts are like really good in terms of getting people's info, like, doing stuff or whatever, and people are like, well, what's the best social media I should use to get people's attention? The one that they're using. They're all good. They're all effective. Every single one's good. Yeah. But if the guy isn't on Twitter, then it's not going to work, right? I mean, a lot of people have Twitter accounts and they don't use them too. So you got to know what they're on. So you can shoot them whatever. If you can get their email, if you can get Facebook, whatever. There's a way.
Whatever they are, yeah, exactly. What are they looking at? Oh, it's a Twitter. Okay, I'll be there. Love it. And you mentioned a very important thing that I think that we all need to master, which is this elevator pitch thing. Mm-hmm. What would be your approach to create an elevator pitch that attracts the right people, the people that we can actually make the biggest impact on, and in a way that makes it totally clear for them about who we are and why should they care? How would you approach creating this magnetic elevator pitch?
Yeah, so the elevator pitch is going to be something that they would be so stupid they'd be stupid not to take the deal or whatever you're pitching them. So it has to be a killer offer on the front end. Anything you're doing, and that's the other thing about selling yourself to these companies. It's going to be a killer offer. The skills, the whatever you're going to give these people, it's going to be so killer they'd be stupid not to hire you. Now you have to deliver. Right. And if you can't think and you don't think you can deliver, step your game up. You got to step your skills up. You got to step your game up to that next level. So, when people ask me, what do you do? And I work with salespeople or whatever, I say, I help people break sales records. Mm-hmm. And if that person is interested in sales or whatever, they're going to be like, oh, hey, let's talk or whatever, And not a lot of people are into that. And that's fine because I deal with salespeople like, oh, well, we don't want to break sales records. I don't want to deal with them. They're not the right people.
but
Honestly, they're not going to do anything.
But is there anybody that would say that, no, I'm fine. I don't want more sales.
Yeah, there's certain people like, no, we just want to grow 10%. And
oh my God, come on, man.
Yeah, it's tough. So sometimes people will say that, and they're not the right people for me, and that's fair. There's other people that can make them that help them out. But basically, yeah, the elevator pitch is something real quick, short, sweet. It's under 10 seconds. It's a big, bold claim. You got to be able to back it up, right? Obviously, always got to be able to deliver. But if you don't think you can deliver on something that like that, then you got to go out, develop the skills so you can.
Yeah, love it. And how would you handle, people's skepticism? You enter the conversation strong, you capture their attention, but they will go, oh wait, come on, man, Kerry, we're already doing fine in sales, man. You're already saying we're going to break the sales record of our company. Come on, man. How would you handle their skepticism?
I'll go to them like this. I go, here's the deal. I'm going to work with you for free for however long I think it would take to get them a result. I'll come in there. I'll work with you guys for free for one day. If you don't see a result, then hey, we can move on in a merry way. And that's the same thing I would say to the IT people, and it'd be like, look, if you don't believe I can do this, give me a shot. Let's do a trial period for a month. Let me do what I can do here. And, we'll reevaluate it on both ends. I'll see if it's a good fit for me. You can see if it's a good fit for you. And if not, then we'll move on.
Love it. Totally different from what most people, approach the interview. How what's the benefits in this company? How long should I stay and all that kind of stuff. So your approach is totally, reversed. And that's the beauty about sales, because as you started saying and talking about sales, you said that most people think that sales is about, hey, how can I get your money? But it's really the other way around, which is, how can I help you and how can I prosper by doing so? So the more success I have, the more success you have, more success I have.
Yeah.
So that's great, Kerry. Thank you for sharing. So yeah, we talked about the elevator pitch. We talked about how to get people's attention. We talked about, handling their skepticism. Now it's time to deliver.
Yeah.
Is this still a sales thing, the delivery? How would you approach that question? I mean, when it's time to deliver, whatever their game is, if it's IT or if it's cars, sales, automotive, or whatever,
product, service, whatever, maybe.
Product, whatever. Yeah, are they still selling?
At that point, yeah, you could still say it's selling to a certain extent because, again, if you give a killer service or product or whatever it may be, that can still be selling, right? Because if it's killer, these people are gonna be like, oh my God, you got Bruno, you got to see what Bruno can do. It's amazing. It's awesome. And then because those word of mouth sales are the best, right? Because those people are the easiest to close. They're usually like, let's do business right now. And it happens like that. So yeah, your reputation is everything. So go out there and deliver and try to over deliver. Always try to over deliver. Do what you say you can do, but then try to figure out how you can over deliver, and that'll keep you sharp too. It's going to keep you on top of your game. How you can just go out there and just take it a little bit better, a little better. So that's the name of the game. Yeah. So I would say that is also part of it.
Because one big challenge that I've been noticed, like in my 10 years of experience, is that I've seen amazing genius people doing great work, but they are almost like invisible, and nobody really appreciates them, and the opportunities just don't come to them. But there's other people who are actually get those opportunities, and they're not as good. And I believe that the difference is that the ones who got those opportunities, they knew how to sell themselves. So they knew how to make visible the value that they were bringing, and position themselves to get more opportunities to deliver.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I totally would agree. So I was actually talking to someone about this the other day, and they were saying, well, I'm afraid to say these things, and they're really good at their job. Same type of situation, really good, but they're like, oh, but I can't do that because I'll seem like I'm boasting. I'm like, look, it's not boasting if you can back it up. And this person had all kinds of numbers and stats and whatever. Be like, look, this is what I can do. You're like, you're having this problem. These are the results I deliver. Here are the numbers, bing, bang, boom. On average, this is what's going to happen, right? And so that's the other thing too, is I think that's to me, that's a huge selling point. If you can back it up with like numbers and stats and be like, here's the deal. It's not, I'm not really a huge fan of the guy, the boxer Floyd Mayweather, but everyone's like, oh, he's so cocky, he's so arrogant. Yep. But that guy just stated facts. He's just like, I'm this champion, I'm that champion. I beat this guy, I beat that guy. That's why I think I'm and like this, that, and the other thing. He goes, that's why I'm the best in the world. And if you looked at it just on that level, you're like, can't really argue with him.
Yeah,
it was facts. He's like, and that's why I'm going to win. And then he went out and did it too.
Exactly, like it or not. Yeah.
Like it or not, like the guy or not. And so, it's the same thing. So if you're a quieter person or whatever it may be, that's fine. Just be like, hey, this is what I can do. Just give them examples of what your work is and show how you can deliver.
And here's the next challenge for you. And by the way, people, everybody who's on this blab right now, our beautiful audience, if you don't know who Carrie is, you totally should. Actually, you should totally follow Carrie right now here on Blab, on Twitter, everywhere that you can get this man's intellect and content, because this guy will help you kick ass in sales. All right. So I caught Carrie on a YouTube video that he posted. I was totally, oh man, this guy gets sales. So I need to interview this guy. I need to get into his brain. Come on, man. So I totally, I used this cell phone to get Carrie's attention. We booked the interview and we are here. So I think that this is an example of the kind of hustle, the kind of, attitude that you need to take in today's economy if you want to make things happen. So here's Carrie. Here's the next challenge. What if this person is a young graduate who has zero experience? So he has nothing to hold on to say, hey, I can really deliver. How can they sell themselves if they have zero experience? Now, I know that this is tough, but I trust that you can help them kick ass, man.
Yeah.
But it's tough.
So number one is you got to develop that experience for sure. So I think that's one mistake that a lot of people make is they wait to get that experience. Don't wait. You want to come out there with the most skills that you can deliver. But then after that, I would just say you got to go at it from the point of, look, I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to go in. I'm going to work my butt off for you, and I feel like I can deliver. And again, be like, look, give me like a 2-week or a 1-month trial period, and let me just prove myself. That's all I ask. I know a lot of other people are talking about this, that, but I just want to let my actions, do the talking. If you give me the opportunity, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to work my butt off, and let's make it happen, and then do it.
Yeah, so interesting, Carrie, because that was the exact pitch that I did 10 years ago when I started working. So I haven't, even finished my degree. So I had 0 degrees, 0 certificates, 0 nothing. And I just pitched, one startup in my country. And that was the pitch, and it worked. For my surprise, which at the time I had 0 experience with sales. I had nothing. Yeah. But interesting enough, I used that pitch and it worked. So I think that's the difference, to make an extreme offer, and then of course at the same time extreme risk reversal. So they have nothing to lose. They have the only thing that they can gain from the deal. So so that's awesome. Another question that I would ask you, and I don't want to take too much of your time because you were so kind to to give me some of your time, and I appreciate you so much for doing that. Another question that I had was regarding the close. Okay. Sure. Now, I think that this is the point where we start to, people can sell, but the point where I see people struggle the most is when it comes to the point where they need to close the deal. All right. So what would be your suggestion when some young graduate or young professional is selling themselves, the deal looks good, but then from the other side, from the decision maker comes, some objections, some stalls. How would you suggest us to deal with that? So how would you move to the close? How would you make them, take the pen and actually sign the deal?
Yeah. So I've actually got a pretty cool strategy that you can do on this. This is kind of a ballsy one. So it's a little different. Now, what you're going to do to anyone out there looking for a job is you're going to go out there and you're going to find the top companies or startups or whatever that you want to work with. And what you're going to do is you're going to write these people and be like, look, I just want some advice at where I'm going with my career. And I was just wondering if I could take you out for a coffee or lunch or something like that. Right. So it's probably going to be coffee because when you get asked, you don't have any cash or whatever. So take them out for a coffee. And actually there's some crazy psychology on this. If you give someone something warm in their hand, they naturally will like you more.
I read that. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll naturally like you more. So get them a coffee, get them a tea.
No iced tea. No iced tea.
No iced tea. No iced tea, no sodas, no ice water, whatever. Give them warm water. Even if they don't want any of that, give them warm water. All right. So anyway, you give them that. And then you ask them, be like, hey, I'm just looking for, what would be, I'm looking to go out there and be like a really good job candidate. And I just want to know, what are the top skills you're looking for? Or what do you think are some of the things that you can, you think about that? And then just be like, this is what I can deliver. This is what I know I can do. What do you think about that? And what'll happen is they'll say, well, someone will be like, well, I think that's pretty good, but you could do this, this, or that. Or they'll be like, oh, you need to do this, this, that, and the other thing. Now, if the person says all this stuff like, well, I would just say, just do this a little bit different and be that. And then what you can do is you flip it on them right there. Be like, okay, well, here's the deal. I know I've got this, this, and that, and I can also do what you're talking about. So I'm going to ask you to hire me right now because I know I can deliver on that right now. So if you don't want to hire me, give me that 3-week trial or whatever. Let me prove myself, and then we can go from there.
Exactly. So you just made them say to you exactly what they want, and then if it's true and if you really have it, then say, hey, you're looking at the guy who can help you right now.
Yeah, you can be like, that's crazy because all that stuff you're saying, I can totally do that because of this, this, and that, or whatever it may be, and then boom, flip it on him. So this guy, I got that from a guy who was starting a startup, and what he did is he went to all these other guys that he knew, and he's like, look, this is the idea for my company. And I just want to make sure that I'm not being absolutely crazy, and I like your opinion. You can tell me if it totally sucks, it's stupid, and I just want to know how I can make this better. And so what happened is they're just like, okay, and a few, like 2 or 3 of the guys were like, this is stupid, like you're dumb, right? But there's a number of guys out there who were like, this is a really good idea. And if you could deliver on this, this, and that as well, I think it's really solid. And he goes, well, here's the deal. I'm going to ask you to buy right now because I know I can deliver on this, this, and that. And that's what he did. He closed those guys, and that's how he got his business started. And it went on to be a really big business. He sold it for like a few $100 million. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Here's one experience that I've learned from my mentor in sales, a guy called Grant Cardone. I'm not sure if you know the guy.
I know Grant. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So Grant shared a story, and I think that this is some kind of a strategy that he uses a lot. So he comes into a company and say, hey, look, here's what my company can do for your company. Here's what the benefits that you will enjoy. And then he will start listing the benefits, the promises. And then, of course, by the time that Grant reaches like point number 3 or 4, people are starting, oh my God, this cannot be this true. This cannot be this good.
Yeah.
And then for the close, he goes, hey, if I could deliver only half of what I just told you, would you still be interested? Yeah. Because I can deliver 100%, and here's the proof. And then he will go, here, check it out, these examples. Check out people just like you who are enjoying benefits of, achieving this goal that you have. But if I could just, deliver 50%, would you still be interested? Yes, let's do it.
Yeah.
Cool, Kerry. Hey, I would like to, open up the seat if anybody is available and if wants to ask Kerry one question or two, feel free to join. Kerry, I hope that this moment, these 30 minutes, were good for you. Hopefully, people will take this information that you just shared and use it to improve their lives. Because I know that this was killer information. I appreciate you so much for not holding back and giving away all the hard-learned strategies that you just shared. It was amazing, man.
Well, hey, I love coming on and doing this type of stuff and anything. I appreciate you having me on here. And you did a great. I love that. I could see right from the get go you're a hustler. The way you contacted me, so I was like, yeah, let's absolutely do something. I like this guy. So
that's my goal for 2016. I need to surround myself with other people who are on the same journey to expand their potential and sell that potential in the marketplace. Because I think if we can do that, there's no stopping us.
Yeah.
So I would end this session with Kerry by asking one last question. Kerry, what would you say to someone who might be interested in learning about this thing called selling? What would be the first step that you suggest them to make in order for them to start their journey into this world of sales?
Yeah, great question. What I tell you is, first off, I tell you to go to my website, howtokickassinsales.com. I got tons of free information on there, and you can check that out. And then just go out there and get as much information, not just mine, everybody else is out there. You were talking about Grant Cardone. There's tons of good books out there. Go on Amazon, find the top 5 rated books there. Go to Udemy, find the top 5 sales things on there, and just continue to educate yourself on it. It's a skill set like anything else, and just really work at it. But here's the deal. Here's the pitch I'm going to make to everyone here is anytime you have a sales question, hit me up. I'll make you a video, and I'll make you a podcast. And if you want me to give you a shout out for your company or anything like that, I'm more than happy to do that too. I make give a tip of the day every single day. And so I'm more than happy to do one of those specifically for you. So
if people want to know more about you, Kerry, where is the best place that they can go right now?
You can go to howtokickassinsales.com. You can find me on YouTube as well. And you can also find me on iTunes, SoundCloud, Twitter.
You're everywhere.
Facebook.
Why should they take action right now and not tomorrow?
Because right now you've got the momentum, and you're going to forget about it tomorrow. The fact of the matter is you're not going to do it tomorrow. You're like, oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it later. You're not going to do it. So if you're serious about doing it, do it now. Do it now. You get the momentum. That's the name of the game. That's what winners do.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Kerry, thank you so much for your time. It was amazing meeting you. It was amazing having this opportunity to ask you these questions and have you on this blab. I hope that the right people who are interested in expanding their potential and improve their sales skills could catch this blab and follow you right now, because I believe that you're going to do great things this year, and I cannot wait to follow you and be a part of that.
Likewise, boss. And if you guys need anything, Bruno, anybody else, hit me up. Let me know. I'm happy to help. So
amazing.
Rocking her out. I like guys that are hustling, like Bruno. You guys follow Bruno here because he's got the hustle muscle, right? Vitamin 8, they call that, right?
Oh yeah. Thank you so much, Kerry. You have a good one, buddy.
See you guys.
Bye. Take care.